Hi, Sassy Scrappers. This is Super Sassy Sunday, and I'm already having problems. I was recording and doing my cascading pages for you guys, and somebody called me in the middle of it and messed it all up. So I'm going to start over and try to undo what I've done. That's how easy they are to pull off. And show you how to do a cascading page. Somebody had a question after I showed you the peekaboo pockets the other day. So let me make sure that my tabletop is spotlighted for everyone. Hopefully that changed it so you can see it. And I'm going to show you how to do the cascading pages. Now, first of all, you are going to need, I'm going to try to undo what I did. You are going to need a page protector, and you are going to need one of Creative Memories original pages with the jeeping and the staples on it. Okay, you're going to need one of those. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get this one up though. Yeah, if you put them on the pages themselves, they're not as easy to get up. Maybe I kind of am. So what we're going to do first, or what I like to do first, is kind of got it, is to take the page, and I like to put a piece of cardstock underneath it, because when you start putting your peekaboo pockets on it, if you're doing a side one, you can stick your first one under this piece of cardstock, and it's going to help secure it a little bit better. So your first one's going to be good and tight there on the page itself. So I like to use a piece of cardstock. Also, when you're putting these down, make sure I don't get the sticky ones that I have. When you're putting these down on your paper, when you open them up, you're going to see a little bit of in between each one, you know, an inch or two, depending on how many you put down. So I like to have a piece of cardstock there to get some color. You can easily do it on just the white, and you'll have white in between if you'd prefer. That's completely up to you. Now, I've taken a few sheets of cardstock and cut it 6 inches to put into my peekaboo pockets. You'll probably want to go ahead and decorate these all up however you want them prior to doing this. And I have just stuck some in here loosely so you can get an idea of what it's going to look like. Okay. Also, when you put your peekaboo pockets down and you get them clear crossed, you're going to have them, this last one should be right even with the jeeping on this side. When you open this up, you're going to have some blank paper underneath this, because you're only coming over, you know, to the 6-inch line. So when you open that up, you just as well use it for a couple pictures. So I've just tacked a couple pictures down here for us to use as well. So a piece of regular CM page, a page protector that goes with those. You'll need a whole, well, depending on how many peekaboo pockets you want to put across here. On an original cascading page, they took the whole package and put all 6 across. Some people may not need that many. You may only want to put 4 across. That way you can just adjust the inches between each one of them. But for right now, we are going to just show you how to get started, and then you can go from there. So I put the piece of cardstock on here, but I have left this side open a little ways so that I have room that I can work with this and put this underneath to start off with. Okay. So I'm going to try to line up, and the peekaboo pocket is just a little bit bigger than 12 inches. Just a little bit bigger. So, but we want to try to get it as even as we can. And we want to get it right up against that cardstock to get it to go down and line it up the best that we can. And then you're just going to put it there underneath. Now this first one is a little bit different. As you can see, the hole is here. And remember how I said the other day, the sticky's always on the opposite side. So we're not really folding this one over before we lay it down. We're going to fold it over after we lay it down on this first one, okay? So that it's tucked up underneath that. Then we can take our adhesive, put a little more or a little more adhesive in here and get the rest of that card stuff down tight there. And you can add pictures, more pictures, or whatever you want to do here, okay? So that looks pretty good. Actually, that looks better than the first time I had it on there. All right, so the next step then, we've got the first one on, is to put our page protector on. All of the rest of these peekaboo pockets are going to go on the page protector. The first one is the only one, and this is only if you're doing vertical peekaboo pockets. If you're going to do the horizontal ones, you'll have to put them all on the page protector because you can't tuck underneath here because it's a solid piece at the top and the bottom. Now, what I did, and I already did it because I thought I was taping before, is these, like I said, these peekaboo pockets are a little bit bigger than 12 inches. And to get this page protector on, you may have to trim just a little bit off right here on the edge that's under that cardstock. Won't hurt anything. Won't hurt a bit. But you just have to do it in order to get this page protector slid on there. It's a little tricky. It's easier to do if you pull it towards you, I think. Down. Okay. There. And if you just trim that, this peekaboo pocket, the edge of it, just a little bit, then that slides on there real nice. Now you want it up there snug, and you want to try to keep it up there snug, okay? So then you're going to take your next one. I think I have one here that's sticky. Here it is. So if you're going to put 6 of them across, you're going to measure 1.25 inches. 1 1/4 inches to put the next one, okay? And you can kind of use your mats if you have them, but this is longer than the 13 inches by the time you get everything going, and you can't see one of them. So you're gonna have to use a ruler for one of them probably. So you can just lay your ruler on there. This one, we are going to take the sticky off the top. We've got our hole in the bottom. I've slid some cardstock in there. I'm going to take the sticky off here, fold it under, fold the top and the bottom, and I'm going to adhere it. So I'm going to go at 1 1/4 inches, try to get it lined up as close as I can, try to get it vertically and horizontal, or vertically as close to the page protector as I can. Under. Move my paper a little bit. And lay it down. Okay. Got a little wrinkle. And just pull it up. Get the wrinkles out. Try to keep it as close to that 1.25 inches as I can. And the reason you're doing 1.25 inches is you just want even amounts clear across here. And then you'll put another one and another one. Okay. Now, if I were wanting to put just 4 peekaboo pockets on here, then I would go to 2 inches between each one of them. And I would leave more space. The main thing is you want the same amount of space between each one. So if I go 1.25 inches, and now I'm going to measure another from where this bend is, another 1.25 inches, I'd be right here. And that should be about the same amount of space as the first ones, okay? And you just keep doing that all the way over, okay? And I put another one down and another 1.25 inches. I'm just guessing at where that's going to be. And it's going to be about like yay. And the very last one that you put on here, when you put 6 of them on, the very last one that you put on here then will go and cover up and should line up right along that jeeping on this side. So it will cover up right to here, or it would look like that, but you'll have a couple more in between here. Okay, so you have an inch and a quarter, inch and a quarter, inch and a quarter. Some people like to take it and put it on there and measure here. See, right there's an inch and a quarter. And then if I measure here, that's pretty close to an inch and a quarter. It's almost an inch and a half. So move it back a little bit. Right there. And then the next one would be an inch and a quarter. And then the last one should come clear out to the edge. Okay, so that's basically how you do it. And again, like I said, if you're going to do just 4 of them, then you're going to want to go, I believe it's the 2-inch mark that you go if you only put 4, but you can figure it out and you can look at it and decide what you want to do. I mean, maybe you don't want them all equal. I mean, do your own thing, but the goal is kind of to make them equal on each one of them here. Another thing I've seen done is if they have a beautiful piece of paper that they really want to keep, they'll put a 6-inch piece of paper, the first 6-inch piece on the top here, slide it in here so you can see that. And then they'll take, you know, like an inch and a quarter or 2-inch strips, whatever, and put in your peekaboo pocket clear on the edge. So that page, that paper goes all the way across, but yet you still, when you open it up, can put pictures, 4x4 pictures in here and on the back side of each one. And it's really pretty too. So that's kind of in a nutshell how to do a cascading page. And like I said, you can do them from the top to the bottom, but what you would do there is you would start just like we did this one. You'd start putting it on the page protector at the very top and then just measure down so that they're equal, you know, coming down on each one of them. And then you just flip them up. You wouldn't have that opportunity to get that first one underneath that cardstock to really hold it down a little bit better. It's just a little extra protection there. So that's basically all there is to it. It's not hard. Play around with it. Like I said, I'm not sure. I think maybe in the first video I said, I'm not sure that I'm going to do this with these pictures because I don't think I have enough to make it. You want something that you have a lot of pictures of. And this was only a 2-day event or something, so I don't have that many pictures. So I may just take and do a 2-page spread and then take my 6x12s and put on each side and fold out, or maybe on just one side and fold out to use up the rest of my pictures. But that is how you do it. If you still have any questions or anything, please let me know. But you really don't need a lot besides a lot of pictures, just some cardstock. You can decorate these 6x12 pieces any way you want. You can put the same cardstock in each one. You can just put white. You can do whatever you want to that way. I cut a few pictures into 4x4s. So I may put a mat, maybe a decorative mat or some kind of mat behind these. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet, but just some ideas, and I hope you try it and like it, and I'll see you. Let me get back up here. I'm going to remove the spotlight so I can say, there we go. So I can say goodbye, and I hope you have a super sassy Sunday and a great week this week, and stay sassy. Bye-bye.